Shalom, shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off this video by giving all honor, praises, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Acha Kodash. Double honors to my teachers, the elder apostles, and elder bishops of Great Millstone, teaching and ruling well. Alright? Peace, salutations, and blessings unto the hopeful elect. Alright? So let's get into it. Lord willing, this will be edifying. It says here in 2 Corinthians 11, and I'll start at 1. Would to the Most High ye could bear with me a little in my folly, and indeed bear with me. For I am jealous over you with a godly jealousy, for I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Mashayach. Okay? For I fear lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your minds should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Mashayach. The simplicity that is in Mashayach. Okay? Yahushai came on this earth to show us the way. Show us the better way than the first covenant. Okay? Show us how to please unto Yahweh. Okay? How to do the things that are pleasing in his sight. Okay? It says here. It says here. Mark 12, and I'll start at 28. And one of the scribes came, and having heard them reasoning together, and perceiving that he had answered them well, asked him, which is the first commandment of all? Yahushua answered him, the first of all commandments is, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our power, he is one. Okay? And what is that? Shemai Yashar Allah, Yahweh, Allahayanawa, Yahweh Achad. Okay? You see? Hear, O Israel, the Lord our power is one. Okay? You see? This is what we have to understand. There is only one living power, true living power, and that's Yahweh. And under him is Yahushai. Okay? His only begotten son. You see? Okay? Those are the names that we are to call for salvation. Okay, we have to trust in those names, believe in those names. Okay. In Christianity, the central name for salvation is Jesus Christ. Oh, you see, demon, the fucking demon, the AI demon pulled that out of nowhere, man. Okay. Anyways, the only name is not Jebus. Okay, the other white meat. Okay, it's Yahushai. Okay, in Hebrew. Okay, you hear that, demon? You have to call upon the name in the Hebrew. Okay. You see? Not no Jesus. Okay? So yeah, the name that you have to call upon for salvation is Yahweh, meaning the Father, and Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Yahushai. Okay? Who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. But his true name is Yahushai. A name cannot be translated. A name is the name. You know? So again, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our power is one Lord. Okay? He will not give his glory unto another. Okay? Acknowledge that he is Yahweh. Okay? Not God. God is a title. His name is Yahweh. Okay? And it says, and thou shalt love the Lord thy power with all thine heart, with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment. And the second is like, namely this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. There is none other commandment greater than these, to love Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai with all your heart, mind, soul, and to love your neighbor as yourself. That is the simplicity of Yahushai. Because again, if you keep those two ordinances in mind, you will follow each another. Every other commandments will line up with those two ideologies. Loving the Lord, fearing the Lord, and treating your neighbor as yourself, your brother, your sister as yourself. If you keep that ideology in your mind, you will be keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. You see? That's what Yahweh Shai came to teach us. That is the simplicity of Yahweh Shai. Okay? And it says here, and the scribes said unto him, well, master, thou hast said the truth, for there is one power, and there is none other but he. And to love him with all with all the heart, and with all the understanding, and with all the soul, and with all the strength, and to love his neighbor as himself is more than all whole burnt offering and sacrifice. Okay? So doing these two things is better than sacrifice. Okay, because when your sacrifice is because you went off. Okay? But you could do Thanksgiving sacrifices, but most of the times when you sacrifice is because you went off. Okay, it's to make a atonement for something. When you sacrifice, is to make atonement. Okay, so that's why it says burnt offering and sacrifice. Okay, but to obey is better than sacrifice, as it says. Okay, and when Yahushua saw that he answered discreetly, he said unto him, thou art not far from the kingdom of the Most High. And no man after that does ask him any question. Okay, so that young individual, that young scribe, I believe it was a scribe. Let me see. Let me go back up. One of the scribes that was there, he concluded that Yahushua was right, and Yahushua answered and told him that he's not far from the kingdom. Okay, he's not far from the kingdom because he understands that yes, Yahweh is there is only one power, there is only one true living power, which is Yahweh, the Almighty, the Ancient of Days. Okay, and to love your neighbor as yourself is better than offering and sacrifice. Okay, you see, and that's exactly what Yahweh Shai embodied. Okay, everything that he did was through the love of Yahweh. Everything that he did was through to show that he loved us. He loved the church. Okay, so much that he was willing to sacrifice his own life. Okay, to give up his own life after having done no wrong. Okay, in this lifetime, in that lifetime, he did no wrong and he sacrificed himself. Yahweh Shai is the embodiment of that mindset. That's the simplicity of Yahweh Shai. Okay, you see, it says here. It says here. Where is it? 1 John 5:3. For this is the love of the Most High, that ye keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. That's how you show love, by keeping the commandments. That's how you show that you believe, by obeying. Okay, you see? All right, and that's how Yahweh Shai showed us love, because he did obey. He never sinned. Okay, he never sinned. That's how you know that he truly loved not only Yahweh but also his fellow neighbor, because Yahweh Shai was perfect. Okay, to walk according to the law, statutes, and commandments show that you love not only the Most High but you love your neighbor and you love yourself too, because keeping the law, statutes, and commandments is beneficial to you, for you. Okay, and even then, Yahweh said it to himself: when you keep the law, statutes, and commandments, when you do righteousness, you don't benefit me, you benefit men that are like unto you. Okay, you can benefit other men, you're not benefiting me. Okay, but it just shows that you believe. Okay, again, faith without works is dead. Okay, you see, you see another one. It says here, John 14:15, if ye love me, keep my commandments. That's and that's exactly what Yahushua did. He loved the Most High. That's how you know that he loved the Most High, because he obeyed, just as I mentioned. Okay, verse 25, verse 24, John 14:20 and 21. He that had my commandments and keepeth them, he it is that loveth me. Okay, you see, and he that loveth me shall be loved of my Father, and will love him, and will manifest will manifest himself to him. Okay, through this word. Okay, through this knowledge, by sending you the right teachers. Okay, by leading you back to salvation. Okay, verse John 15:20, John 15:10. If ye keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. You see, obedience leads unto to obtaining the love of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Just as Yahushai obtained the love of Yahweh, as it says, "This is my son, in whom I am well pleased." Why? Because he obeyed from birth. He never went off, man. Yahushai never went off. Okay? And through this knowledge, we can strive to have a walk that is pleasing unto the Lord. Okay? You see? Because through Yahushai's sacrifice, we'll have a carte blanche. Okay? We'll be forgiven for our sin first off. Okay? All Israel will be saved in Yahushai. Okay? Through the sacrifice that he has made for the whole house of Israel, even the wicked of our people. Okay? But they will have a delayed gratification. Okay? They won't partake in the first reincarnation because of their unbelief. They'll have to be brought back, okay, on the second go round. Okay, they'll come back and they'll appreciate the kingdom. They'll have benefits, okay, but they won't be at the same level as those that first believed, even in this wicked realm, okay, that chose to walk in righteousness when it was easier to side with Satan. Okay, you see, because they loved the Most High, because they kept their commandments, okay, because they endured until the end. They stood steadfast for the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay, and the Lord will recompense that. Okay, you see, the Lord is not unrighteous to forget your righteous deed that you do for him, for his name's sake, and for the elect's sake. Okay, you see, the Lord is not unrighteous to forget what you're doing. Work your work beat time, and he will reward you on his own time. Okay. So don't think that your work is in vain. Endure unto the end, and you will be recompensed, just as Yahushai was recompensed. Okay, and Paul said it himself. Okay, crown of life. It says here, no, not crown of life. Yeah, here we go. It was James that said that. Salakia, it was James that said that. It says here, no, Paul said something similar, but I'll read this one too. James 1:12, blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord had promised to them that love him. And how do you love him? By obeying his commandments, law, statutes, and commandments. Okay? After doing such thing, you will inherit a crown of life, and no one will be able to take that from off your head. Okay? Okay? Crown, love. So it says here, 2 Timothy 4, and I'll start at 5. But watch thou in all things, endure affliction. Again, enduring. Okay, standing fast for the truth. Okay, even to the point of giving up your own life. Okay, for the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. That's what it means to endure. Okay. You don't know if you're going to be able to, you don't know if you're going to see Yahushai piercing the clouds. You don't know if your lot is to be a martyr for the name of the Lord, man. But regardless, as it says, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry. Okay? What is the full proof? Enduring until the end, whether in death or whether in life, to serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai until his return. Okay? And never denying him. Never turning your back on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay? For I am now ready to be offered at the time of my and the time of my departure is at hand. I have fought a good fight of faith. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. He has kept the faith. He has endured oppression, affliction, adversity. He overcame through Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Even in the lowest state that you're in, wherever you find yourself, man, just know that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is with you. Matthew 28 and the last verse, I believe, verse 20. I am with you always. I am with you always. In the low, in the high of your life, the Lord is there with you, watching you. He will not leave us comfortless. Okay? You see? Even when you think you're alone, the Lord is with you. Okay? Henceforth, there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall, again, the righteous judge, okay, shall give to me at that day, and not only me, but unto all them that love his appearing. Okay, all those that wait for him, that serve him, that obey him. Okay, they will also receive honor in the midst of their adversaries. They will receive glory. Okay, because they stood for the simplicity of Yahushai, loving the Most High with all their hearts, and loving their neighbors as themselves. Okay, like I said, having that mentality, everything else will line up. Everything else will line up. Okay, treat the next man as you would wish to be treated. Okay, it even tells you to be peaceable with all men, to be at peace, if it's possible, to be at peace with all men. Okay, even when they and treat you poorly and do you wrong. Okay, the Lord said, what? Vengeance is mine, said it the Lord. Okay, you're supposed to allow the Lord to deal with that situation. If anyone do you wrong, you're supposed to allow the Lord to deal with that situation. You never know if the Lord might put the spirit in that individual. Let's just say in the time of Jacob's trouble, the Lord puts the spirit in that individual that did you wrong in the time of Jacob's trouble to come and turn around and help you in that time, man. Okay? Vengeance belongs to the Lord, man. Okay? Hey, whatever situation is, again, it's to try our faith. Okay? To see how we're gonna maneuver. Okay? Trust in the Lord, regardless if it's good, regardless if it's evil. You put your faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and He'll help you endure, and He'll help you overcome. Okay, no temptations have fallen upon us that we cannot overcome, as it says, Yahweh, as it says, the Lord will not tempt us above what we can overcome. Roughly paraphrasing. Okay, so again, bringing it back to the simplicity of Yahweh Shai. Okay, you see. These things that are pertaining to salvation are made known unto us, man. You see? So like it says here, shit, the precept just left my mind, man. Okay. Simplicity of Yahweh Shai. Oh, here we go. It says here, 2 Corinthians 4 and 6, for the Most High who commended to light, so like who commended the light to shine out of darkness, has shined in our hearts, in our minds, to light the light of knowledge of the glory of the Most High in the face of Yahweh Shai HaMashayach. So like but we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellency of the power may be of the Most High and not of us. Okay, so in us, the mentality that we have to serve Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, to obey Him, okay, it's in us, but it's not of us. Okay, in the same way that we're not gonna be saved because of our works, we're gonna be saved because of grace. Okay, see, we don't deserve it because we've all fallen short from the glory of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay, but because we strive to do better, we strive to serve Him in truth and in spirit. Okay, we put away our sins, okay, our evil deeds, and we serve Him in truth and sincerity. The Lord will have respect on that, man. Okay, it says that the angels rejoice at a sinner that repents. Okay, they have a feast in the heaven. Well, feast. They have a party in the heavens for a sinner that repents, as a son that returns from a long journey. Roughly paraphrasing. Okay, pertaining to the pertaining to the prodigal son. Okay, pertaining to the prodigal son, the father was happy to see him. Okay, as a son that was lost, man, that was dead. Okay, so anyone that returns to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, the angels, the Lord Himself is happy to see these things, man. Okay, all right. So yeah, man. So that is the simplicity of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, the simplicity of Hamashiach. Okay, to serve Yahweh Hashem Yahushai with all your heart, with all your soul, and to love your neighbor as yourself, man. That's the mentality that having that mentality, everything else will line up. Okay, in the fear of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson, straight to the point. Until next time, Shalom.